The Towering Inferno wasn't just a disaster movie, it was a studio war, a stunt war, and an ego war that almost burned the film to the ground. Two rival novels collided. Paul Newman and Steve McQueen fought over line count. A real fire broke out on set, and producer Irwin Allen was firing guns into ceilings just to get reaction. These are 15 explosive facts about The Towering Inferno, the movie that nearly burned itself alive.
He's almost guaranteed the urban renewal contract.
Number 1. Two studios bought competing novels and had to merge them to avoid a box office war. Warner Brothers paid $390,000 for The Tower in April 1973. It was a record-breaking deal. The bidding started at $200,000. Columbia Pictures dropped out. Warner Brothers won. 8 weeks later, 20th Century Fox bought The Glass Inferno. Same premise, skyscraper fire, people trapped inside, two studios, two movies, same disaster. Producer Irwin Allen realized they'd destroy each other at the box office. He'd seen it happen before. In 1960, two Oscar-wild biopics released simultaneously. In 1965, two Jean Harlow films. Both times, they cannibalized each other. Allen pitched something unprecedented. Merge the projects, make one movie, split the cost. Fox would handle domestic distribution. Warner Brothers would take international. It was Hollywood's first ever joint studio production. The gamble paid off. The Towering Inferno earned $203.3 million worldwide. It became the highest-grossing film of 1974. Two competing disasters became one massive success. Number 2. The $14 million budget created one of the biggest productions ever mounted at Fox Studios. $14 million in 1974 was insane money. That's $71 million today. The production built 57 separate sets. They spread them across 8 of Fox's largest sound stages. It was the most massive undertaking in the studio's history at that point. The sets included full-scale recreations of 5 complete floors of the 138-story glass tower. Production designer William Kraber created a plastic modern aesthetic. It had to look believable as the world's tallest building. The film required 4 separate camera crews working simultaneously. They shot portions of exteriors in San Francisco. The Bank of America building at 555 California became the tower's exterior. Fire consultants from 3 different fire departments shadowed the actors during dangerous scenes. San Francisco Fire Department, Los Angeles Fire Department, Fox Lot Fire Department. They were there to keep everyone alive. Only 8 of those 57 sets would survive production. The rest would be destroyed by 1 million gallons of water.
They want to blow those water tanks 2 floors above you. They think it might kill the fire.
Number 3. Steve McQueen literally counted his lines and demanded 12 more to match Paul Newman exactly. McQueen signed on to play Fire Chief O'Halloran. Paul Newman would play architect Doug Roberts. Then McQueen read the script. He counted every line. Newman had 12 more than him. McQueen went through the entire screenplay word by word, line by line. He approached screenwriter Sterling Siliphant with a demand. Write exactly 12 additional lines for his character. Perfect parity with Newman. Both actors were getting paid the same, $1 million each, plus a percentage of the gross. But McQueen wasn't satisfied with equal pay. He wanted equal screen time, down to the exact line count. According to production reports, McQueen and Newman went back and forth with Siliphant throughout filming. They snuck behind each other's backs to negotiate more dialogue. McQueen also demanded the last line in the film. At Steve McQueen's insistence, both actors ended up with the identical number of lines in the final cut. The obsessive line counting would create one of Hollywood's most infamous on-set feuds. Number 4. Paul Newman called McQueen chicken shit and said every day on set was like going to the dentist. Newman's friend A.E. Hotchner visited the set. He found Newman utterly miserable. Hotchner would later write about it in his 2011 memoir, Paul and Me. Newman was furious about McQueen's line-counting antics. He called his co-star a chicken shit for his petty behavior. Newman complained to Hotchner directly. Every day here is like going to the dentist. The rivalry went beyond acting. McQueen considered himself a superior race car driver to Newman. He constantly tried to one-up him on the racetrack and on screen. The feud probably started years earlier. McQueen had dropped out of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid over billing disputes with Newman. That decision let Robert Redford take the role that would make him a superstar. Now, they were stuck together on The Towering Inferno. Paul Newman later admitted he regretted his decision to co-star with McQueen. The rivalry Steve created made the production miserable.
Set your explosive like this.
Number 5. A real fire broke out on set, and Steve McQueen helped firefighters put it out. An actual fire erupted on one of the 57 sets during filming. Steve McQueen was dressed in his firefighter costume. He immediately jumped in to help real firefighters extinguish the blaze. One of the firefighters didn't recognize the famous actor in the chaos. He turned to McQueen and said, "My wife is not going to believe this." McQueen replied, "Neither is mine." The incident was perfect for McQueen's role as Battalion Chief Michael O'Halloran. Over 1,000 real firefighters were hired as extras throughout production. They gave the film an authentic look during rescue sequences. Pete Lucarelli, chief of the Los Angeles Fire Department, served as the lead technical advisor. The combination of real firefighters, actual fire dangers, and McQueen's hands-on approach to stunts created constant tension about safety. Principal photography lasted 14 weeks in mid-1974. The real fire was just the beginning of the on-set disaster. Number 6. McQueen insisted on jumping from a helicopter onto the burning roof against producer Irwin Allen's strenuous objections. Steve McQueen demanded to perform one of the film's most dangerous stunts, leaping from a military helicopter onto the top of the burning glass tower. Producer Irwin Allen tried his hardest to talk McQueen out of it. The stunt could kill the production's star. McQueen refused to back down. He was a car and motorcycle racing daredevil. He insisted on doing as many of his own stunts as possible. The helicopter stunt shows McQueen single-handedly hooking a dangling glass elevator full of people to the helicopter, entirely on the strength of being Steve McQueen. Paul Newman also insisted on doing his own stunt. He climbed on a treacherous, swinging stair rail dozens of stories above the ground. Before filming the climactic promenade room scene, McQueen told everyone on set, "If anything happens to me, Allie gets my pickup truck." He was referring to his wife, Allie McGraw. The stunt work rivalry between Newman and McQueen turned dangerous. Both would sustain injuries. Number 7. Newman suffered a moderate burn, and McQueen turned his ankle so severely he had to sit for days. The competition between Paul Newman and Steve McQueen came with a price. Newman sustained what production reports called a moderate burn during one of the fire sequences. McQueen turned his ankle so severely, he had to be seated for several days of shooting. The production scrambled to rearrange the filming schedule. Neither actor would back down from performing dangerous scenes. The rivalry pushed both men to take risks they might not have otherwise attempted. Stunt coordinator Paul Statter pulled off some of the most convincing human bodies on fire ever executed for the camera. The mechanical effects by A.D. Flowers and Logan Frazee combined with real fire. The actors were constantly working in genuinely dangerous conditions. No CGI safety nets. The injuries to two of Hollywood's biggest stars could have shut down production entirely, but the show went on.
7:30 sharp. I hope you like your men prompt.
Number 8. Fred Astaire received his only Oscar nomination for this, not for any of his 50-plus musicals. Fred Astaire was a legend. Top Hat, Swing Time, Easter Parade, 5 decades of dancing on screen. He received his one and only competitive Academy Award nomination for the Towering Inferno. After 50 years of iconic musical performances, Astaire was nominated for Best Supporting Actor for playing Harley Claiborne, an aging con man who falls for his mark. He received no nomination for his dancing or singing, the very talents that made him a legend. Astaire won both the BAFTA Award and Golden Globe for the performance. Reportedly, Astaire campaigned to producer Irwin Allen to write a song for the film. His effort was deemed too old-fashioned and dismissed. The film marked his return to the screen after a 5-year absence. In the climax, during the massive explosions, Astaire was genuinely scared. He wasn't acting. Fred Astaire would make only one more film after this, Ghost Story, in 1981. He died in 1987.
Monte Carlo's loss is San Francisco's gain.
Number 9. Jennifer Jones made her comeback and final film appearance as Lissalette Mueller. The Towering Inferno marked the return and final screen appearance of Jennifer Jones. She played Lissalette Mueller, the woman being wooed by Fred Astaire's con man. Jones had been one of Hollywood's biggest stars in the 1940s and 50s. She won an Oscar for The Song of Bernadette. Then she largely withdrew from Hollywood. Her character rushes to the 87th floor to check on 2 children during the fire. The role earned Jones a Golden Globe nomination for Best Supporting Actress. Her scenes with Astaire provided emotional depth amid the disaster spectacle. Lissalette Mueller's death scene remains one of the film's most poignant moments. O.J. Simpson's security chief discovers her death and later gives her cat to the grieving Claiborne. Jones never acted again. She retired permanently from the screen at age 55. Number 10. Only 8 of the 57 sets were left standing. 1 million gallons of water destroyed everything. The production built 57 elaborate sets, full-scale recreations of 5 complete floors of the skyscraper. By the time filming wrapped, only 8 sets remained intact. The climactic firefighting sequence required unleashing 1 million gallons of water through the building. This torrent destroyed 49 of the 57 sets. The water tanks were blown up atop the tower using real plastic explosives. The massive destruction was built into the budget, but seeing 5 months of construction work demolished in minutes must have been surreal. The sets that survived were primarily lower floor pieces, not involved in the water sequence. The film's practical effects relied on real fire, real water, real explosions. This created genuine danger and genuine destruction. No amount of CGI could replicate it. The scale of destruction made The Towering Inferno one of the most expensive productions in 20th Century Fox history. Number 11. The film inspired Die Hard. Roderick Thorpe had a nightmare after seeing it. Novelist Roderick Thorpe saw The Towering Inferno in 1975. He went home and had a horrific nightmare. Thorpe was best known for his 1966 novel, The Detective. It became a Frank Sinatra film in 1968. After watching Paul Newman and Steve McQueen battle a towering inferno, Thorpe dreamed of a man being chased through a skyscraper by gun-wielding assailant. He woke up and knew he had the premise for his next book. The dream became Nothing Lasts Forever in 1979, a sequel to The Detective featuring retired NYPD detective Joe Leland trapped in a 40-story office building on Christmas Eve when terrorists take over. The novel was offered to Frank Sinatra. He declined. Then Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone. Finally, Bruce Willis signed on. The 1988 film was retitled Die Hard, The Barefoot Hero, the CB radio communication, the villain falling from a window, all inspired by The Towering Inferno.
What about your exhaust system?
Well, it should have reversed automatically. It must have been a motor burnout or something.
Number 12. 3 stars wanted top billing. The solution was diagonal billing on the poster. Steve McQueen, Paul Newman, and William Holden all demanded top billing. Holden was quickly refused. His box office draw had been eclipsed by both younger stars. The solution for McQueen and Newman became Hollywood legend. Diagonal billing. On the poster, McQueen's name appeared first when read left to right, but Newman's name was positioned higher when read top to bottom. Each actor appeared to have first billing, depending on how you read it. This was the first time this staggered but equal billing was used, though it had been considered for Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid before McQueen walked away. McQueen is mentioned first in the trailers, but in the end credits, Newman's name becomes fully visible first. The awkward diagonal arrangement looks strange, but it was the only way to get both actors to make the film. Number 13. It became the highest-grossing film of 1974 with $203.3 million worldwide. The Towering Inferno earned $116 million domestic, another $87 million internationally. Total worldwide gross, $203.3 million. The highest-grossing film of 1974. Adjusted for inflation, that's approximately $1.25 billion today. That would make it one of fewer than 60 films ever to join the billion-dollar club. What made the success even more impressive was the $14 million budget. Earning over $200 million was extraordinary. The joint venture between Fox and Warner Brothers paid off spectacularly. It validated Irwin Allen's decision to merge the competing projects. The success, combined with the Poseidon adventure, cemented Allen's reputation as the master of disaster. It kept the disaster film genre alive for the rest of the decade.
The children's lives and a fireman.
Number 14. The film received 8 Oscar nominations, including Best Picture, and won 3. The Towering Inferno received 8 Academy Award nominations. Best Picture, Best Supporting Actor for Fred Astaire, Best Cinematography, Best Film Editing, Best Original Song, Best Original Score, Best Sound, Best Art Direction. The film won 3. Best Cinematography for Fred J. Konekamp. Best Film Editing for Harold F. Kress and Carl Kress. Best Original Song for We May Never Love Like This Again. Maureen McGovern performed it in a cameo as a lounge singer. Fred Astaire also won the Golden Globe and BAFTA Award for Best Supporting Actor. John Williams' score received a nomination, but lost to The Godfather Part 2. The film's special effects remained stunning for the pre-CGI era. Models, practical fire, and stunt coordination created disaster sequences that still hold up 50 years later. Number 15. Producer Irwin Allen fired a live handgun at the ceiling to get a genuine shocked reaction from actors. Director John Guillermin handled dramatic scenes. Producer Irwin Allen directed the action sequences. Allen was so determined to capture authentic shocked reactions that he fired a live handgun at the ceiling without warning anyone. The stunt worked. He got genuine terror on film. Allen, the master of disaster, employed aggressive tactics throughout production. The actors were exposed to real fire, real heat, real danger. Stunt coordinator Paul Statter orchestrated the most convincing human bodies on fire ever filmed. A.D. Flowers and Logan Frazee used practical techniques decades before CGI. Allen's approach, combined with actors doing their own stunts, created an environment where injuries were inevitable. The result was disaster spectacle that felt genuinely dangerous, because it was. A $14 million budget, 2 studios merging for the first time, Steve McQueen counting lines, Paul Newman calling him chicken shit, a real fire breaking out on set, McQueen jumping from helicopters, actors getting burned, Fred Astaire's only Oscar nomination, Jennifer Jones's final film, 1 million gallons of water destroying 49 sets. It inspired Die Hard. It earned $203 million. It became the biggest film of 1974. The Towering Inferno was supposed to be about a skyscraper disaster, but the real disaster was making it, and somehow that's exactly what made it legendary.